Hey, and welcome to Show Me Some Television, the segment where I talk television shop and review essentially full-on seasons of television shows thanks to getting the Show Me service from Rogers for free. I guess because it's new, they wanted people to try it out, and so I am. So I'm binge-watching television, and in this segment I'm going to talk about the second season of Under the Dome. If you watched my first season review, you know that I enjoyed it. I like the post-apocalyptic elements of it, so I was looking forward to season 2. Well, season 2 is a little different. It definitely is not what season 1 is. The post-apocalyptic elements from season 1 are essentially gone in season 2, and it more concentrates on the sci-fi, Stephen King elements, and I still enjoyed season 2, but it's nowhere near the enjoyment I had from watching season 1. And one of the big things that I kind of was a little... Well, there's a few things, actually, that kind of bugged me about season 2. Now you get the introduction of some more new characters, okay? Some of them make sense, some of them not so much. One of them becomes a major main character, and that's the science teacher from the high school, who apparently is now the go-to science advisor and is able to, like, I get, as a teacher you may have a general knowledge of things, but this knowledge that this person has and available, without, like, they don't have the internet, right? So they can't look up stuff. So she's got at her disposal in terms of a lab and equipment and know-how, insect migrations, plant biologies, animal biologies, weather, like everything. Like, essentially it's one of those, I'm going to write this character in. She is the science mind. Oh, she'll know all science. But it's not even like general science. She knows very, very specific, like, we're going to create viruses, and we're going to create antidotes, and we're going to, analyze bugs and dirt and all. I'm just like, okay, sure. The hospital that was in this town didn't even have the right equipment and supplies to do everything that was needed to treat some people of regular, illnesses type thing. And here we are with a scientist who now has all the know-how and all the equipment needed to do practically, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised she's like doing DNA tests. Like, there's just so much about her and what she knows and what she's able to, do in this confined space with very limited resources, and I mean very limited, that it's not believable. It makes no sense. Like, I could get it if, she's the one, and based off of her small amount of knowledge, there's a lot of guesswork, and they kind of throw luck to the wind and stuff, and they rely on, the dome or whatever the religious beliefs in the dome is. They rely on that to feed what they're doing. But it really becomes a religion of the dome versus science in this season, which kind of makes sense. You're going to get people who are, believing in the dome, believing in, going to God, going to all these things. I get that. People are scared. They're going to go to that. And you're going to get some people who are, basing things off of reason and science and stuff. But you have limitations in both aspects, right? Like, and I had no problem with the versus aspect of the season. That was okay. You kind of expect that with it. But it's just what they're able to do without relying on the greatness that is the dome and the aliens and all that kind of stuff. Had that been the reason for all of the whatever they're able to do, I would be okay with that. But no, I'm sorry. They're just sort of like throwing ideas and all, like Star Trek gobbledygook type stuff. Well, let's just put up an electromagnet. That's going to stop everything. Okay, so they create an electromagnet. Why? Like, they have no idea of what's really going on, and the scientists should know that. They should, instead of being like, let's just willy-nilly do this, I think this will work, or let's, somehow I have the knowledge to be able to figure this out and save everybody. There should be more analyzing. There's science, like she's a science. Let's analyze. Like get data, hard data, because that's how she's really introduced. She's introduced as trying to get data, and it's like, oh, okay, you're the science teacher. That makes sense. I guess you're collecting analytic evidence and such. But then suddenly you're a main character and a main plot point in this season, and you're like, it's religious nuts versus you, and you have the power. If you don't manage to somehow create the save the people from whatever big thing that happens next, then the religious people will win. But if you do, then science wins. And it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. That kind of got on my nerves after a while, because some of the stuff, which I was just like, honestly, she needs to be working at like something way above her pay grade. She knows way more than your typical science teacher knows. Okay? General knowledge is one thing. A very wide array of very specific knowledge and being able to act on it is a different story altogether. The other thing that really bugged me about this particular season was they gave a timeline. And apparently they've only been under the dome for like a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple weeks. And they've already gone through water shortages, food shortages, rioting, pestilence and famine and all. I'm like, where did all of this come from? Like, this is a farming community. I don't even understand how they ran out of anything in 2 weeks. How often did these people go grocery shopping? Every day? This isn't the city, this is the country, man. Like, for some of these people, they grow their own food, so they only go out for stuff that they don't grow, and by the looks of it, some of these people grow everything. And, any of the people who I know who operate farms or living in farm communities or anything that's similar to this community, outside of even some of them, they preserve everything. They have enough food to essentially, if need be, get them through a year. Like, they will can everything, and they will have entire, the idea of a pantry and a cold cellar comes from that. Modern day condo living and stuff, I don't have a pantry, I don't have a cold cellar, I hardly have a freezer. So yes, I have to go out and I have to buy food regularly. I don't have any place to store it. I don't have, anything remotely like, I'm such a small space. I don't have a house. I don't have a basement, right? But farming communities, people I know, hey, I work in a farming community. All around me is surrounded by farmland. I drive through farmland every day. I know a lot of people who grew up on farms. And for me to go, oh yeah, so you must like go grocery shopping every day, right? Because you have no food. They'd be like, what? We make our own bread. We we have our own livestock. Yeah, it's like the idea. It's like I know people who spend one day a year making all of their spaghetti sauce. Like these are Italian people who make all of their spaghetti sauce for the entire year in one day. In one day. I know people who have a couple of apple trees and they have more apples than they know what to do with. And apples, if you put them in a cold cellar, don't go bad. They pretty much stay almost, for an entire year almost. I've had them go for a long time. If you freeze them, whatever. You can make pies till the cows come home. So yeah, I was thinking they've been under this, dome for months, because they're talking about seasons changing. Seasons changing sped up. Hello, what season happens in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Hello, like, yeah, the timing on this didn't make any sense whatsoever to me. As soon as they started saying the numbers, and I was like, wait, what? Rewind that? What did you say? How long have you been under this dome? Okay. This makes no sense. You've completely lost me on all credibility of this, post-apocalyptic aspect that I liked from the first season, because I figured it was a longer period of time. But no, essentially the first season took place in a week. Maybe. And they ran out of water and food and everybody and medicine. They ran out of medicine. Apparently so many people got hurt and sick in the first week that nobody had any medicine. This town under the dome must be the biggest blight on the medical system ever, because they used up the entire supply of medicines from the hospital and the drugstores and whatever anybody had in all of their houses in a week. A week. Apparently there's some pill pushers there. Yeah, so a lot of the aspects that I, unfolded in the first season that you're, just, okay, this makes sense. Over time, yes, this would develop. Were really shot down in my mind and killed this show to a large degree simply because the timeline that they're running on doesn't work for me. Apparently all this is happening like now. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now I get some of the stuff that happens. It makes sense. Don't have a fire department, don't have a lot of water, something catches on fire. That's a big problem. Food shortage should not be a problem yet. And it's continuing. There's things in this particular season that are, dealing with that food shortage. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. So, I believe there's a season 3. I don't think it's on Shomi yet. I'm kind of hesitant to watch it, but at the same time, I still enjoyed season 2 enough for me to go, okay, I've been with it so far. I've done the 2 seasons. I gotta watch season 3. So hopefully it'll come on Shomi and I'll be able to catch it. And again, I will be back here to do another review. Hopefully, fingers crossed, of season 3 of Under the Dome on Show Me Some Television. So, guys, if you've seen the Under the Dome, post down below what you thought of season 2. Yeah, because that's what I'm talking about here. Season 1, go check out the season 1 video. You can post there. But yeah, I honestly, it was a big downhill for me. Which is too bad, because it wasn't great television, but at least there was some entertainment value happening. And I'm still entertained, but it's dwindling. It's dwindling, and I'm skeptical about that third season, because if the amount from season 1 to season 2 dip happens from season 2 to season 3, it's gonna hurt my head. It's definitely gonna hurt my head. So, yeah. Anyways, that is my review of Under the Dome season 2 for Show Me Some Television. Until next video, guys, take care. Have a good one.